Welcome to Terry's Kitchen, where we talk food, faith, and family. So today we are going to be making Spanish rice. It's a quick dinner meal, and our family loves this meal, so I want to share this with you. But first I want to read today's devotion out of Jesus Calling. Living in dependence on me is the way to enjoy abundant life. You are learning to appreciate tough times because they amplify your awareness of my presence. Tasks that you used to dread are becoming rich opportunities to enjoy my closeness. When you feel tired, you remember that I am your strength. You take pleasure in leaning on me, and I am pleased by your tendency to turn to me more and more frequently, especially when you are alone. When you are with other people, you often lose sight of my presence. Your fear of displeasing people puts you in bondage to them, and they become your primary focus. When you realize this has happened, whisper my name. This tiny act of trust belongs to me, the forefront of your consciousness, where I belong. As you bask in the blessing of my nearness, my life can flow through you to others. This is abundant life. So let me wash my hands and we'll get started. Okay, as I shared, we are having Spanish rice. I do have Catherine and Chris. We babysat Harley today, and Sherry is off this week, so just kind of relaxing after the big wedding, and have Mom here. So we have about 6 of us, so I'm making a large pot of the Spanish rice. Now this may not be your typical Spanish rice, but it's certainly one that our family really enjoys. I'm going to use an electric skillet, and I've turned it on. What I have in the skillet right now is the drippings from the bacon, because we used bacon that we're going to crunch up and put over top. Ron's aunt used to, when she made Spanish rice, it was always with hamburger, but we've always done this with the bacon. So as the drippings, bacon grease that I have in the skillet here is melting and getting hot, I'm going to add onions, which I have already chopped. That's about 1.5 onions, and have chopped them. I have a large bell pepper. These are my frozen peppers that I did in the fall, got chopped up and put in the freezer, so they're really nice. And again, when I say it's a quick meal, you can have this on the table very quickly. Turn that on. So also I have 8 cups of rice. So there's 6 of us. We always love leftovers, so that's we'll have 2 cups. So I'm thinking maybe a cup of the Spanish rice for each person, and we have 6 of us. So when you're making your rice, I don't like really using instant rice. So for 8 cups of rice, I do 8 cups of water and 4 cups of rice. So you bring your rice and water to a boil, then turn it down to simmer and let it simmer for 14 minutes. And your rice usually comes out always perfect and nice and fluffy. So my grease is all hot, so I'm going to add my onions here first. I was talking with Mom earlier and just kind of where did we get our Spanish rice recipe from. And we are thinking, we tried to call Aunt Judy to confirm, but we're thinking that Aunt Judy gave this recipe to us first. Because, like I said, Mom made this all the time growing up. And I was a hearty girl, as I'm a hearty woman now. And I always liked several helpings of this because it was just very delicious. So you're going to saute that. Now, we use a lot of country green beans. Our standard Spanish rice meal is, again, the Spanish rice. We have country green beans. And if we're not trying to watch our weight or be good, we'll have a slice of butter bread. So you can't go wrong with that. Let that saute a little bit. I have my electric skillet about 325. I just got this electric skillet, maybe three months ago, and I have really enjoyed that. It's a wonderful addition to my cooking dishes. So I'm going to add the green peppers. So basically what you're doing is you're just getting your onions and your peppers nice and tender. So I'm going to let that saute for a little bit. Now I like using whole tomatoes. So I have a large, 28 ounce plus a 14 ounce can of whole tomatoes. I like using the whole tomatoes because I don't really care for the diced tomatoes. There are some times that I use that, but usually I like the whole tomatoes, and I just kind of crush them with my hand before I put it in, so in the pan. So we're going to just let that cook a little bit, saute, and there's some extra water from the green peppers, but that's okay. Just the convenience of the green peppers is wonderful, just to jump down to the freezer and get those. So while that is cooking, I'm going to bring the bacon. Because we're having 6 people and everybody, when they're spooning up their Spanish rice, tries to get us the bacon pieces. So I've made a lot of bacon, and I've crunched, making it really crispy. I like crispy bacon. So I'm just going to break that up. To do this amount of bacon, we put it in the oven. We have a cookie sheet with a rack, and so you can get a lot of pieces of bacon in the oven. It doesn't make too much of a mess. It seems like with the rack it really does good, and the drippings go to the bottom of the pan, and keeps the bacon from actually sitting in the grease. So I always put it in the oven versus microwaving it. Some of the pieces didn't get quite as crunchy as I would like. And in the recipe that I'll post with this, I'll do it for the 8 cups if you want a large batch. But you can just certainly, it's kind of you can't really mess up the Spanish rice. So if you want to make smaller portions, that's good. But it's great to keep as leftovers. And so we always, before I retired, anytime we had leftovers, I always took it to work the next day. So it's great for another meal. Alright, so that's pretty crunched up there. And if you get a big chunk of bacon, that's always good too. So, okay, so that's ready. I'm going to need to wipe down my hands because my hands are a little greasy here. Okay, so let me see how this is looking. Okay, I think that is very tender. So I'm going to go ahead and add my rice. So again, your cooked rice. The only 2 types of Spanish rice that I've kind of really seen or maybe even tasted was with the hamburger or this version. I know you have, well, and the Mexican type of Spanish rice. But these are the ones that I make, so. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add my tomatoes. And mix all that up. And the flavor of the bacon is just so great in this. And the green peppers, is also very good. Turn that down a little bit so that can just kind of simmer in there, because everything is basically cooked. We're just simmering, and the tomato juice is absorbed by the rice. So again, this is a really, really quick meal that you can make for your family. It's not difficult at all, and it is delicious. Okay. Now with I'm going to add some salt and pepper, and the salt and pepper is really to your taste. You know that watch the videos that I use the coarse black pepper, so it's got a little bit of a punch. And now the salt, I'm going to be very generous with the salt, but if you, again, make the salt that you put in there to your taste. Stir that around. And we are completely done, except for adding that bacon. So I'm going to put that on the top. Our country green beans are ready. And I have some family here ready to have dinner. So you just sprinkle that around. Another big piece. And dinner is ready. So a quick meal for your family. Give it a try, and I think that you will like it. And again, I think it's Aunt Judy's recipe, but if not, we're giving Aunt Judy the kudos for sharing this with us. So let me get a towel here, and I'm going to dip up a little bit just to taste. To see if I have enough salt, enough pepper. Oh, perfect. Usually I do not get enough salt, but I think I nailed it this time. So consider making the Spanish rice. Thank you so much for watching our video. If you like our videos, please share. We'd love for you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And I just thank you for coming into our home as I cook and share our wonderful recipes. Blessings.